think Roman's probably a WWE lifer at this point, because if WWE doesn't have anything for him, my guess is he's probably made enough money at this point where he's like, I don't need this. Maybe he goes and tries to, make a couple $7 promotion movies or something. I don't know. But it seems like if he's not in WWE, he wouldn't. But again, I think just because he's that champion that we all associate, it was the same thing with Hogan when he initially went to WCW.
Now along those lines, like if he ever got that itch of wanting to work more, like wanting to show what he can do in the ring, and like there isn't something there under Hunter, I could see one day him be like, you know what, this ain't for me anymore.
That all depends on if AEW has a WCW renaissance where they take over for WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like that means that in the ratings, revenue, everything else, now the number one brand for more than 83 weeks would actually be AEW. Now, that's the only way I'd see Roman Reigns going over. It's like, okay, WWE's in the mud. Boy, they're struggling. And I don't think they'll ever struggle again, because if they can't, say, for instance, and this sounds crazy, Gabe, there could be a situation where WWE is in such trouble, like, well, it's not worth it working here in America. Let's just put our shows in Canada. We'll just be a regional show in Toronto, or we'll just go international because it doesn't work. WWE had to do that before. WWE was in such financial strain that they went to like Kuwait and they went to Mexico, other places, just to make money. So I don't think the WWE will ever be in that shape. I wrote down Roman Reigns. I think Randy Orton also is a WWE lifer.
Yeah.
He could have left before, went to Japan someplace else. He's in the twilight. He's not leaving. Also, Miz is never leaving WWE.
No, he's not going anywhere. No, give him the Jordan Belfort. I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yes. Could you imagine? It's just like, yeah, Miz, we're cutting you. But New Japan's available. Huh? Yeah. No, thank you.
Miz versus Okada.
Could you imagine that? Rainmaker! Like in 3 seconds, it'll be all over. Bam! It'll be all over for Miz. And you know what I wrote down as a dark horse, bro? I wrote down Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I wrote down Charlotte and Becky. And I know Becky's deal's coming up, but I don't know. I just see both of them at this point. I don't see them going anywhere. Again, Charlotte, I think, could potentially have other options. There's always whispers out there before the unfortunate knee injury that she had that, maybe she has a career in Hollywood. Maybe she can be that next crossover star. So to the point where, okay, would she, I know Rick went over there, but but her husband is coming back to WWE, presumably, right? So I can't imagine her being outside of WWE as well. For the joke one, I put Punk because.
Could you say never though?
No, you can't. I can't.
If he called Tony tomorrow, he's working Dynamite next week.
The door's always open.
Right.
The door's always open. Anything that you want to do, the door's always open. But again, it's up to AEW. Say, for instance, AEW starts to get on that roll where they can be able to have great not only arena attendance, but stadium attendance, where now you're neck and neck with it. You won't reach WWE's financial status, but as far as perception, and now there's a possibility, because now you're making more money, and Gabe, the TV deal makes a big difference for the next 5 to 10 years, whatever AEW is going to get.
Would you put Cody on the list?
No, I think Cody's going to eventually end up back in AEW.
He's like his old man. He's like his old man because he gets bored. Dusty comes over there with the polka dots, common man, dancing around. Yeah, after 3 years, he was done. Right back to WCW. I think that Cody wants to finish the story, be the champion, and then after another cycle, gone.
So for me, otherwise, WWE, Miz was the only in-ring I had. The others I sort of wrote down were Michael Cole feels WWE lifer. I don't see him working anywhere else. And do you put Shawn and Hunter on the list?
Well, Michael, for sure, he wants to retire soon.
Right.
Voice a little raspy in Portland, by the way. It's like, boy, that age is starting to kick in. That travel.
No wonder no wonder he didn't want to work both shows anymore. That's a tough schedule, man.
He made the comment recently. He was just like, I think it was last year. He said, I'm only going to do this for a few more years, and then I'm going to disappear, and no one will ever hear from me again.
Yep.
Good for him. Good for him. Because, man, I'll tell you what, that dude's underrated. He is so underrated. Like I enjoy it when he's on there. Obviously, Vince no longer being in his ear, I think has really opened him up and freed him up a little bit. But that dude deserves a lot more respect from wrestling fans.
I think he's set there.
Who's the other? Oh, you said Triple H and Hunter. No, that's not going to happen. And again, that all depends on AEW. What if, right? But just the way the infrastructure is right now, it just seems like anything else, right? TNA had a little bit of a run. AEW with a run now. WCW had a run, but is it sustainable? And we don't know the answer to that until we see the next TV deal. And I think that's only fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we keep going with that list, though. I mean, there's Luther, never going to be a WWE. We can keep going with this list.
We got a comment here, saying Seth Rollins. I could easily see Seth Rollins in AEW, especially given his love of the industry. Like, you're telling me eventually Seth Rollins maybe not wants to go head to head with a Will Ospreay or with some of the talent over in New Japan or Wrestle Kingdom. I could see Seth Rollins in a couple of years jumping over to AEW the same way that Bryan Danielson did. Where it's like, hey, you know what? I've kind of wrestled everybody here. I've done everything there is to do here. Man, Wrestle Kingdom would be a lot of fun.
And to do it on
just do a short run over there. Yeah,
like I feel like Bryan's going to end up working for WWE again. Like he's going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Like Rollins can go that same exact path.